The stars were quiet, too quiet. Commander Jae-hoon Park stood on the bridge of the Galactic Confederation's flagship, the Eternal Judgment. His fingers drummed against the cold metal control panel. Outside the massive viewscreen, thousands of ships formed a perfect circle around a small blue planet. Earth, the last target, the final conquest. "Scan complete," announced a robotic voice from the ship's computer. No significant planetary defense systems detected. No active military response anticipated. Jae-hoon allowed himself a small smile. Humans were supposed to be fighters, legendary for their spirit. But here they were, surrounded, trapped, with no way out. Every other civilization had fallen before the Galactic Confederation. Why would humans be any different? 50 miles below, in a hidden underground facility, Daniel Kim was not worried. The retired Navy SEAL looked older than his 62 years. Deep lines carved his face, telling stories of countless missions and battles. His right hand, covered in small scars, held a steaming cup of black coffee. Around him, a team of experts worked silently, their fingers dancing across holographic screens. "They're right where we want them," Daniel muttered to himself. The underground facility was a marvel of human engineering. Built over decades, hidden beneath layers of rock and advanced camouflage technology, it was invisible to even the most advanced alien scanning systems. Computers hummed. Servers blinked. Weapon systems waited, silent but ready. Outside, the world looked defeated. Major cities appeared empty. Satellite images showed destroyed infrastructure. To any watching alien, Earth looked like a broken world, ready to surrender. But looks could be deceiving. In Tokyo, what seemed like an abandoned industrial complex was actually a massive production center. Robots and humans worked together, creating advanced weaponry. In Brazil, what appeared to be a flooded rainforest region was a complex network of underwater research stations. In the Arctic, buried deep beneath ice and rock, another hidden base prepared its defenses. Humanity had a plan, and it had been years in the making. "Final positioning complete," announced a junior officer on the Eternal Judgment. Alien soldiers moved with mechanical precision, their metallic bodies reflecting the light of distant stars. Jae-hoon looked at the holographic representation of Earth. So small, so vulnerable, so alone. "Prepare communication channels," he ordered. "We will give them one chance to surrender." In the underground facility, Daniel Kim watched and waited. The computer screens around him showed multiple views of the alien fleet. Each ship was a technological marvel, built for destruction. Massive energy cannons, shield generators that could withstand multiple nuclear impacts, troop carriers capable of deploying thousands of soldiers in minutes. But Daniel knew something the aliens didn't understand. Humanity's strength was never about technology. It was about something deeper, something more important. Adaptability, creativity, pure, unbending will. "System check," he said quietly. A young woman named Hyjin looked up from her console. "All systems green, sir. We're ready." Daniel nodded. His coffee was getting cold, but he didn't care. Years of preparation had led to this moment. Years of planning. Years of waiting. The aliens thought they had won. They thought Earth was defeated. They were wrong. On the bridge of the Eternal Judgment, Jae-hoon opened a communication channel. His voice would be translated into every human language, broadcast across every remaining communication network. "People of Earth," he began, "your resistance is futile. Surrender now, and you will be treated with." A small light began blinking on Daniel Kim's console. A single, innocent-looking notification. "Activation sequence initiated," it read. Daniel smiled. Rule number 1 was about to be remembered. The first attack came without warning. Massive energy beams sliced through Earth's atmosphere, turning the sky into a canvas of burning light. Alien ships moved like a swarm of metallic insects, each beam capable of destroying entire city blocks in seconds. The initial assault was designed to break humanity's spirit quickly and completely. In New York, what was left of the financial district became a sea of flames. Skyscrapers that once reached toward the sky now crumbled like sandcastles. Millions of people had already been moved to underground shelters, but the destruction above ground was total and merciless. Commander Jae-hoon watched the attack on his ship's main screen. Each explosion was a point of pride. Each fallen building a symbol of the Galactic Confederation's power. Confirm total destruction of primary urban centers, he ordered. Back in the underground facility, Daniel Kim stood perfectly still. Around him, screens showed multiple views of the devastation. But he wasn't worried. Not even a little bit. "They're following the exact pattern we predicted," he said to Hai-jin, who was monitoring the attack patterns. She nodded. Her fingers moved quickly across the holographic display. "Predictable as always," Hai-jin responded. Her voice was calm. Too calm for someone watching their world being destroyed. The alien ships moved in perfect geometric patterns. Each formation was designed to maximize destruction. Each beam was calculated to cause maximum damage. To any outside observer, it looked like a complete and total defeat for humanity. But Daniel knew better. In the underground production center in Tokyo, robots and humans worked faster. Production lines that looked abandoned now hummed with intense activity. Weapons were being built. Vehicles were being prepared. Everything was happening according to plan. "Energy absorption at 62%, announced a computer voice in the underground facility. Daniel smiled. Most people would not understand what that meant, but it was exactly what they wanted. The alien attack continued. More cities fell. Los Angeles became a burning wasteland. Chicago turned to ash. Miami disappeared beneath massive energy blasts. To the Galactic Confederation, it looked like a perfect military operation. Sung Min Lee, another key member of Daniel's team, watched the destruction with cold calculation. He had spent years planning this moment, years understanding how the alien technology worked, years preparing humanity's response. "They believe they're winning," Sung Min said, "but they don't understand." On the Eternal Judgment, junior officers celebrated. Alien soldiers moved with mechanical precision. Commander Jae-hoon allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. Earth's defenses seemed non-existent. Their technology was primitive compared to the Galactic Confederation's advanced weaponry. But beneath the surface, humanity was doing something unexpected. Every destroyed building, every fallen city, every energy blast, they were all part of a larger plan. The aliens were collecting exactly the data humanity wanted them to collect. "Energy absorption at 79%, the computer announced. Daniel's smile grew wider. In Brazil, the underwater research stations continued their work. In the Arctic, hidden bases prepared their systems. In Tokyo, production continued without pause. Humanity was not defeated, not even close. "Prepare secondary systems," Daniel ordered. Hai-jin looked up. "Sir." "It's time," Daniel said. "They think they've won. But they forgot one thing." The computer screens began to change. Subtle at first, almost invisible. Rule number 1 was about to be remembered, and the Galactic Confederation would never see it coming. Darkness was humanity's friend. Beneath the burning surface of Earth, a different world came to life. Hidden bunkers opened. Secret doors slid into place. Soldiers who looked like ordinary people just moments ago now transformed into a well-prepared fighting force. Sung Min Lee emerged from a hidden entrance in what used to be downtown Chicago. Around him, other soldiers moved with purpose. They wore special suits that looked nothing like traditional military gear. These were adaptive camouflage suits designed to change color and shape based on the environment. "All units, activate Phase 2, he spoke into his communication device. Hundreds of underground shelters became military staging points. What the aliens saw as a defeated planet was actually a massive, hidden network of resistance. Each shelter was more than just a place to hide. They were production centers, training grounds, weapon factories. In the Tokyo underground complex, robots worked alongside human engineers. Massive machines built new weapons. Computer systems analyzed alien technology in real time. Everything was happening fast. Too fast for the aliens to understand. Daniel Kim watched from the main control center. His weathered hands moved across holographic displays. Each movement was precise. Each decision calculated. Energy redirection at 91%, announced the computer voice. Hai-Jin looked up from her console. Sir, they still haven't noticed. The aliens believed they had won. Their massive ships continued to rain destruction on the planet's surface, but they didn't know what was happening below ground. In Brazil, underwater research stations hummed with activity. Scientists and soldiers worked together, developing new technologies. In the Arctic, another hidden base prepared its most advanced systems. Humanity was not just surviving. They were planning. Some men led the first group of underground resistance fighters to the surface. Their suits made them almost invisible. They moved like shadows between the burning ruins of what was once a great city. Target acquisition, he whispered. The first alien patrol never saw them coming. Specially designed weapons, created from years of secret research, fired silent beams. The alien soldiers dropped without making a sound. Each weapon was designed to counter the specific energy signatures of the Galactic Confederation's technology. More underground entrances opened. More soldiers emerged. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They thought they understood humanity. They thought they had broken human spirit. But they were wrong. In the underground facility, Daniel Kim allowed himself a small smile. Activate communication protocol, he ordered. Hai-Jin's fingers danced across the console. Suddenly, every hidden communication channel came alive. Resistance groups from around the world connected. Information flowed. Plans were shared. The aliens were about to learn something important. Humanity was never more dangerous than when it was cornered. On the eternal judgment, Commander Jae-hoon continued to believe in total victory. His screens showed continued destruction. Cities burning. No resistance detected. But beneath the surface, something was changing. The first alien patrol was just the beginning. Some Min's voice came through the communication system. Clear, calm, determined. Rule number 1, he said, never underestimate humanity. More underground doors began to open. The real fight was about to begin. Something strange was happening in space. The Eternal Judgment's communication systems began to flicker. Strange signals danced across computer screens. Commander Jae-hoon watched in confusion as perfectly reliable systems started to behave in unexpected ways. Report, he barked. No one could explain it. Deep in the underground facility, Daniel Kim activated the Quantum Entanglement Communication Network. It was humanity's most secret weapon, the communication system that broke all known rules of technology. Signals that could not be blocked. Messages that traveled faster than light. A network that made traditional communication look like children's toys. Full network activation, Daniel said quietly. Hai-Jin nodded. Her fingers moved across the console with lightning speed. Around her, computers began to hum with an intensity that seemed almost alive. The quantum network was unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. It wasn't just a communication system. It was a living, breathing network that could adapt, change, react. Each human soldier was now connected in ways the Galactic Confederation could never understand. On alien ships, communication systems went crazy. Signals crossed. Information mixed. Entire battle plans became scrambled. In the Tokyo underground complex, robots and human engineers watched the first signs of their technological breakthrough. Years of secret research, decades of preparation, all leading to this moment. Interference at 78%, announced a computer voice. The aliens' jamming technologies were useless. Every attempt to block human communication failed. Worse, the quantum network was learning, adapting, growing stronger with each passing second. Some men led a team of special operations soldiers. Their communication was perfect. No delays, no interruptions. They could share complex battle plans in milliseconds. They could coordinate attacks with machine-like precision. But it was more than just communication. The quantum network began to do something unexpected. It started to think. Not like a computer, not like a machine, but like a collective intelligence. Each human soldier became part of something larger, a network that could predict, plan, understand. The Galactic Confederation had no idea what was coming. Energy redirection complete, the computer announced. Daniel Kim watched the alien fleet on his screens. They looked powerful, unbeatable. But they were about to learn an important lesson. Technology was not just about machines. It was about imagination. On the eternal judgment, Commander Jae-hoon grew angry. His perfect invasion was falling apart. Communication systems failed. Battle plans became confused. For the first time, he felt something he had never felt before. Uncertainty. What is happening? He demanded. No one could answer. In the underground facility, Hai-Jin looked at Daniel. A small smile crossed her face. They're learning, she said. The quantum network was more than a communication system. It was humanity's secret weapon. A technology so advanced, so unexpected, that the aliens could not even understand it. More underground doors opened. More soldiers prepared. The real battle was about to begin. Rule number 1, Daniel whispered. The quantum network pulsed. Alive. Ready. Humanity was about to show the galaxy something special. Information was a weapon. Sung Min Lee sat in a small, hidden communication center. Screens covered every wall. Each screen showed something different. Alien communication channels, military broadcasts, private conversations. Nothing was safe anymore. Target acquired, he whispered. The humans had discovered something powerful. The aliens communicated in patterns, predictable patterns, and patterns could be broken. In the first stage of their plan, human teams began to hack alien communication channels. But they weren't just listening. They were changing things, small details, tiny pieces of information that would cause big problems. An alien military order would suddenly have a small mistake. A coordinate would be slightly off. A troop movement would be slightly delayed. Nothing big enough to be noticed immediately, but enough to create confusion. On the eternal judgment, Commander Jae-hoon started to feel something strange. Doubt. His perfect invasion was becoming complicated. Reports came in from different parts of the fleet. Small mistakes, minor problems. Nothing serious, but growing. Troop movements didn't make sense. Communication became harder. Something was wrong. But he didn't know what. Hai-Jin watched the alien communication systems on her screens. Her fingers moved quickly. Each movement was precise. Each action calculated. Psychological disruption at 45%, the computer announced. Humans understood something the aliens did not. War was not just about weapons. It was about minds, about breaking the enemy's spirit before breaking their bodies. In Tokyo, a team of experts worked on creating false communication channels, fake messages, incorrect information. Each message was designed to create maximum confusion. An alien commander would receive an order, but the order would be slightly wrong, just enough to cause doubt, just enough to make them hesitate. Sung Min's team was doing something even more dangerous. They started spreading stories about human resistance, about secret weapons, about impossible technologies. Some were true, some were completely made up, but all were designed to create fear. The quantum communication network helped. Messages spread faster than light. Information became a weapon more powerful than any gun. On alien ships, soldiers began to question their commanders. Small seeds of doubt grew. Confidence began to crack. Something is wrong, alien soldiers would whisper to each other. And they were right. Daniel Kim watched everything from the underground facility. His plan was working perfectly. Humans were not just fighting. They were playing a game of mental chess. Psychological pressure increasing, the computer announced. The aliens thought they understood humanity. They thought humans were simple, predictable, easy to defeat. They were wrong. Commander Jae-hoon tried to maintain control, but control was slipping away. Small mistakes became bigger problems. Communication became harder. Trust began to break down. In the hidden communication center, Sung-min allowed himself a small smile. "Next phase," he said quietly. The screens around him showed alien communication channels falling apart. Piece by piece, message by message. Humanity was not just resisting. They were winning. "Rule number 1, Sung-min whispered. Never underestimate an enemy who knows how to think." The psychological war had begun. The first real attack came without warning. Alien commanders thought they were still in control. They were wrong. Massive underground launch platforms opened across the planet. Weapons that looked nothing like traditional human technology erupted from hidden locations. They moved too fast, too precisely. The alien fleet had no time to react. Daniel Kim watched from the underground facility. His hands were steady. His eyes were calm. "First wave," he said simply. Hai-jin's fingers danced across the control panel. Hundreds of missiles launched simultaneously. But these were not ordinary missiles. They were something entirely different. Each projectile was a marvel of human engineering, adaptive, smart, capable of changing course mid-flight. They moved like living things, not like simple machines. On the eternal judgment, Commander Jae-hoon's confidence began to crack. "Impossible," he muttered. The first wave hit alien ships with surgical precision, not to destroy, but to disable, to create confusion. Each missile carried a special payload designed to disrupt alien technology. Sung-min led the first ground assault team. Their suits made them invisible to alien scanning systems. They moved between burning ships like ghosts. "Activation complete," he reported. Alien ships began to fall, not explode, just stop working. Power systems failed. Communication went dark. Entire squadrons became useless in seconds. The quantum communication network worked perfectly. Every human soldier knew exactly what to do, where to go, how to move. It was like watching a complex dance, except the dance was war. "Energy disruption at 78%, the computer announced. In Tokyo, underground factories worked faster, more weapons prepared, more vehicles assembled. Humanity was not just fighting. They were transforming. Daniel Kim's voice came through every communication channel. "You forgot rule number 1, he said. Those words meant everything to the human resistance. Never underestimate humanity. Alien commanders tried to regroup, but their perfect military structure was falling apart. The psychological warfare had done its job. Doubt had spread like a virus through their ranks. Some alien ships tried to retreat, but retreat was impossible. Hai-jin tracked every movement, every ship, every potential escape route. "No one leaves," she said quietly. The human counteroffensive was nothing like the aliens expected. It was not just about destroying ships. It was about sending a message. Humanity would not be conquered. Sung-min's team moved between alien ships, collecting data, disabling systems. Each movement was perfect. Each action calculated. "Rule number 1, he whispered into his communication device. More underground launch platforms opened. More weapons prepared. The first wave was just the beginning. On the eternal judgment, Commander Jae-hoon realized something terrible. They had made a mistake. A big mistake. Humanity was not defeated. They were just getting started. The quantum network pulsed, alive, waiting. More attacks would come, and the aliens would never see them coming. Weakness was a weapon. Hai-jin discovered something important. The alien military had a big problem. They worked like a machine. Every order came from the top. No one could think for themselves. Their command structure is their biggest weakness, she told Daniel Kim. Underground factories worked day and night. Robots and humans created special weapons. Not just guns, not just missiles, something more dangerous. Information weapons. Some men prepared the most important mission. They would target the alien leadership, not to kill, but to create total confusion. The quantum network did something amazing. It could predict alien movements, learn their patterns, understand their thinking. We don't need to destroy them, Daniel said. We just need to break their system. On the Eternal Judgment, Commander Jae-hoon felt something he had never felt before. Fear. His perfect military machine was falling apart. Communication became harder. Orders got mixed up. Soldiers started to question everything. Hai-Jin's team created fake communication channels. They looked exactly like real alien communications, but they were not real. Each message was designed to create maximum confusion. An alien commander would get an order, but the order would be wrong. Just a little bit, just enough to cause doubt. Deploy to Sector 7, a message would say. But Sector 7 did not exist. More underground launch platforms opened. More weapons prepared. Humanity was not just fighting. They were changing the rules of war. Some men led a special team. Their mission was dangerous. They would infiltrate the alien command ship, not to destroy, but to plant special devices. Devices that would break the alien communication system from the inside. Rule number 1, he whispered to his team. Never let them see you coming. The quantum network helped. It could predict exactly where alien ships would be, when they would move, how they would react. It was like playing a perfect game of chess, except the chess pieces were entire spaceships. In Tokyo, more robots assembled more weapons. In Brazil, underwater research stations prepared special equipment. In the Arctic, hidden bases worked on the next phase of the plan. Daniel Kim watched everything. They think we're weak, he said, but weakness can be a weapon. The first infiltration teams moved between alien ships, silent, invisible, perfect. Each team carried special devices, not weapons, information devices, things that would destroy the alien military from the inside. Commander Jae-hoon tried to maintain control, but control was slipping away. Reports came in. Confusing reports, impossible reports. An entire alien squadron disappeared. Another changed direction for no reason. Communication channels became a mess of mixed messages. What is happening? He demanded. No one could answer. Hai-Jin's smile grew wider. We're winning, she said. The quantum network pulsed, alive, thinking, learning. Humanity was not just fighting. They were evolving. More underground doors opened. More soldiers prepared. The final phase was about to begin. Rule number 1, Daniel whispered. Never underestimate an enemy who can think. The aliens were about to learn a very important lesson. Silence filled the bridge of the Eternal Judgment. Commander Jae-hoon stood face to face with Daniel Kim. It was not how anyone expected this moment to happen. No massive battle. No epic fight. Just two commanders, two leaders, facing each other. Daniel looked older, tired, but his eyes were sharp, alive. How? Jae-hoon asked. One simple word, loaded with confusion, with disbelief. The quantum communication network had done something impossible. It had brought Daniel Kim directly onto the alien flagship, not through force, not through weapons, through information. We've been ready for you long before you even knew we existed, Daniel said. Around them, the alien ship was dying, not destroyed, just broken. Systems failed. Computers went dark. The perfect military machine was falling apart. Hai-Jin watched from the underground facility. Her fingers moved across the console, tracking everything. Final phase initiated, she whispered. Daniel explained something the aliens never understood. Humanity was not just a species. It was an idea, a way of thinking. an ability to adapt, to change, to survive. Your technology is advanced, Daniel said, but technology is just a tool. Imagination is the real weapon. Some Min's team moved through the alien ship like ghosts, collecting information, disabling systems. Each movement was perfect. The quantum network was more than a communication system now. It was alive, learning, growing. Commander Jae-hoon could not understand. His entire world was falling apart. Everything he knew about warfare, about conquest, about victory, was wrong. We prepared for this moment for decades, Daniel continued. While you saw a weak planet, we were building, planning, waiting. Alien soldiers around them moved slowly, confused. Their perfect military structure was gone. Information was a weapon more powerful than any gun. In Tokyo, underground factories continued to work. In Brazil, underwater research stations prepared. In the Arctic, hidden bases waited. Humanity was not just fighting. They were transforming. Rule number 1, Daniel said again. The words meant everything. Never underestimate humanity. Jae-hoon tried to speak, but what could he say? His perfect invasion was destroyed, not by weapons, but by something he could not understand. Information, adaptation, will. Hai-jin's voice came through the communication system. Clear, strong. Mission complete, she announced. The alien flagship began to shut down, not explode, just stop working, like a machine that had lost its purpose. Some Min's team collected final pieces of information. Every alien technology would be studied, understood, used. Daniel looked at Jae-hoon, not with anger, not with hate, but with understanding. You thought we were weak, Daniel said, but weakness can be a weapon. The quantum network pulsed, alive, waiting. Humanity had won. But the victory was not about destruction. It was about something more, about proving that imagination was the most powerful weapon in the universe. Rule number 1, Daniel whispered one last time. The alien ship went dark. The battle was over. The stars looked different now. Years after the invasion, the galaxy remembered what happened to Earth. Other civilizations told stories, whispered tales about the day humanity showed its true power. Daniel Kim sat in a small room. He was older now, his hair completely white, but his eyes still burned with the same fire. Hai-jin entered the room. She carried an old datapad. Her movements were slower, but her mind was still sharp. They're asking again, she said. The other alien civilizations wanted to understand. How did humans do it? How did they defeat the Galactic Confederation? How did they survive? Daniel smiled. He had told this story many times, but it never got old. It was never about weapons, he explained. It was about something deeper. Around the world, underground facilities that once housed humanity's resistance now became research centers, places where human and alien technologies mixed, created new things, solved problems no one thought could be solved. Some Min had become a lead researcher. He worked with alien scientists, not as a conqueror, but as a partner. The quantum communication network had changed everything. It was not just a weapon anymore. It was a bridge, a way to connect, to understand. Rule number 1, Daniel said again. Never underestimate humanity. In Tokyo, robots and humans worked together. In Brazil, underwater research stations explored new technologies. In the Arctic, hidden bases became centers of innovation. The invasion had changed humanity, made them stronger, smarter, more connected. Hai-jin showed Daniel the latest reports. Alien civilizations were asking to learn from humans, to understand their technology, their way of thinking. We didn't just win a war, Daniel explained. We showed them a different way of existing. The quantum network had become something more, a living system of communication, of understanding, of growth. Other alien races looked at humans differently now. not as a weak species, but as something else. A species of problem solvers, of innovators, of survivors. They thought we were simple, Hai-Jin said. Her voice held a hint of humor. Daniel laughed, a deep laugh that showed years of experience. Simplicity can be a weapon, he responded. The research continued. New technologies emerged, things that changed how entire civilizations thought about science, about communication, about life itself. Sung Nin joined them. He carried new research data, discoveries that would have seemed impossible before the invasion. The network is still growing, he said. The quantum communication system was alive, learning, changing, connecting. Daniel looked out the window. The stars seemed to shine brighter now. Humanity had not just survived. They had transformed. Rule number 1, he whispered one last time. Never underestimate an idea. Never underestimate humanity. The galaxy listened and remembered.